All right, we're out at the home on 1814 Encino Rio, looking at doing some siding, siding and some windows. So pretty basic, kind of little like garden home. Nice little home, but basically needs some siding, some attention here. So we're looking at doing a fascia overlay. We're going to do a full siding replacement, minus this, potentially this one gable they may want to leave alone. But everywhere else the siding will be addressed. So we are doing a fascia overlay. It's an 8-inch fascia. It looks like the roof was relatively new and there is metal drip on there. So we're going to leave that alone and we're just going to do a fascia overlay. This gutter, it's the pin through type. So we haven't done a full kind of demo yet. We're going back over to the house to do that now. But there's a rental property for them. So we're going to their main house just down the road, but we're going to discuss what we're going to do with this gutter. My best recommendation would be to just get rid of it and then re-gutter it if they so desire. But trying to put those big old spikes back in through there, the gutters aren't going to look very pretty when we get done with it. So fascia overlay on this side, at least remove the gutter. We will be determining whether they really want to have somebody install that, reinstall it, or if we'll just dispose of it and they can get new gutters if they choose. This corner right away, you can see, you may not be able to capture it in the video, but it's that corner separated by probably a good half, 3/4 of an inch. So we got to tighten that back up, nail that back together, and then do our fascia overlay once that's been accomplished. Coming across to the front here. So this gable we may potentially leave alone. Zoom out here, but like I said, we'll kind of determine that once we go over and go through the pricing. Big time need for a garage door wrap. See that rot? So we'll need to scab in some new 2x6, and then basically might be 2x8, and then basically do our garage door wrap all the way around. This side isn't so bad. Some small cracks going on. Actually, it looks like that is rotten too. Yeah, it is. So we'll need to cut out probably 8 inches. Scab in some new 2x6, and then continue with our garage door wrap. Coming up here, this is the gable they did want to address. Again, we talked about it looking different. They're aware. We've done Hardie plank on their house. They're aware that the aesthetics will be different, but they're going to make that determination whether they're going to leave this one out and include this one or just do both. So we'll figure that out here, and I'm assuming in just a couple minutes. We also need to figure out if we're going to paint the front door. We will definitely be painting the porch ceiling and any soffit. There's hardly any soffit on the house. A lot of it looks like this, but any soffit or porch ceiling will be coated to the color of their choice or just to match. Here you can see another one of those corners that's clearly separated. See that? So we'll have to determine if there's any rot up there, nail it back, and then continue with our fascia overlay system. Otherwise, that's pretty straightforward. Again, possible paint on the front door. That gable vent, that half round gable vent, that will be retrimmed in Hardie. You can see it splitting and cracking. So we will retrim that in Hardie and clean that up a bunch. It'll look a night and day difference from what it looks like now. And it'll obviously not have to, we won't have to worry about replacing it down the road. Coming around back, Joseph measured the windows actually. So we're going to look at some Provia windows for him as well. Again, on this side, you can see just more fascia, not necessarily any soffit. This garden window will be gone. Will be replaced with an updated window. Probably, I don't know, either picture gliding, something, awning maybe. I don't know what Joseph has designed. But then this trim around the window, we're going to replace that trim with Hardie trim. Okay, and we'll reseal that back to the brick. Coming up, sorry, I just swallowed a mosquito. Starting over here is where the siding starts. This is where the siding starts. Obviously right there you can see a big issue. You can see the foil back paper exposed. Looks like a squirrel was probably setting up shop there, just munching away on the siding. Talked about the possibility of a conservative tear off, so it's still an idea I think worth exploring. And we'll determine that here in a little bit. All these windows will be retrimmed. All the 1x4 trim will be done with Hardie 1x4. Chimney all the way up. Chimney, they seem to like the idea of a conservative tear off, but on the chimney, I told them we don't want to mess around with it. Major rot right here, which obviously water flows down. We don't want to run the risk of covering up something that that's going to need, you know, some addressing down the road. So we'll do a full tear off on the chimney, a conservative tear off everywhere else. Again, front side, back side, all corner trim, and the capping up top, the wood capping, not the metal spark arrestor, but all the capping will be faced or replaced with the Hardie material. Coming around here, this arbor, to do this right, this arbor, at least the top, this top kind of slatted piece is going to have to come off. It looks like it's just toe-nailed, actually screwed into the cross member right here, and it's just screwed in from the sides. And then we can take these two brackets off, which will come off the wall. These big old, well, there's a 6x right there, and this little 4x here, those can stay. And really what I'm thinking we need to do is just lift this top off, move it back, brace it up for a little bit, and take these two supports off, and then we can get to the siding correctly. The electrical will come away. We'll side behind it, reattach it, and then paint it all beautifully to match the siding color. We do have a little bit of soffit starting from that corner right behind the trash cans. There's a little 3-inch soffit, so that's all going to get painted. Coming under here, we have a big porch ceiling. All this will be painted, as will all this siding be addressed with the project as well. All windows and doors under here will be trimmed in Hardie. And again, there's just a few, probably 20, maybe 25 feet of soffit. All the soffit on the house will be painted, just like the porch ceiling. And we come over here, it just gets real cut up top here. So you can see all the angles, and you know, all that will just be diagonal Hardie. And we'll do that just all in the same direction, not the chevron pattern. Coming over here, this is the last wall here, going on to this side over here, which is their 0 lot. So this is the last wall. Again, some moderate rot right there. You can see in between the trees right there. So that will need to be addressed. But everywhere else, like I said, a good probably 75% of the house can be done with a conservative tear off. Still give the same warranty, the same quality of installation. It's just going to save some money in terms of tear off and labor. So, and then you can see it kind of, it's hard with the tree cover, but it just runs up to a gable peak, maybe 3 feet above this roof line right here. So not overly complex by any means. Another hole down here, right there with the siding. Not overly complex by any means. Fairly easy job to accomplish. But again, just some kind of cut up areas here that are going to require a little bit more time. That gable vent up top right there will be trimmed in Hardie. So nice and easy there. And again, strongly would advise the fascia overlay. I really think it's a wise decision. There's not that much siding on the house, but it would not be, in my opinion, a wise decision to not do the fascia overlay and have to come back and do it, you know, 2, 3, maybe 5 years down the road. So that's what we got. We're going to go and take a look at the scope of work here and see if we got it put together just the way they want it.